Alrighty. Just give me a few seconds to make sure that everything gets set up properly on the stream, and then I will start to show off all of our new stuff. Alright. So for those of you who are now tuning in, my name is Corvus, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Legion base mod. This is our core mod for all future project releases and pretty much the entire future of studio mods. We are not going to be doing Galactic Civil War anytime soon. We have it planned for a future release, just not anytime soon, realistically. We're trying to finish all of our Clone Wars assets before we proceed to move on to other areas within the Star Wars mythos. So this is the base Coruscant Guard armor that we have going on right now. I myself textured this. There are some minor issues with the armor, mostly related to the seam on the helmet and the neck here. This is in the very, very early testing phases still. This isn't going to be released to the public until a lot of the images that you see on the armor are fixed.
Corvus?
What?
Dick, what? What are you doing in here all by yourself?
Alright. Ignoring that. So we don't have any of our visors set up yet, but that will be coming up soon. We will not be getting Wookiees anytime soon, unfortunately. So now, moving down to the NVGs, I'm going to show off some of our really nice helmet accessories that we have made. So here we have our permanently moved down specialist visor that is constantly lowered over the eyes. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. I am enjoying this. Our Phase 2 helmet was made by Tributon and Clock, and I believe that the uniform itself was also made by Clock. There's going to be some minor changes made to the armor now and again as well. Here we have an NCO version of the visor, which just has, this little attachment off to the side here, this little mini antenna. Here we have the normal rangefinder, which, as you can see, actually does have a little base piece, unlike one of the other Star Wars mods that is currently on the market. Here we have the night vision visor itself. And here's the NCO version of it. This is the non-permanently lowered version. And then moving up, we have the commander visor. These are just the absolute base textures for all these. These will be changed per unit in the future, or not, depending on whatever the unit is. And here we have a visor that is actually not in any other mod, to my knowledge, as of this stream, which is the Marshal Commander Night Vision Goggle Visor set. This has a fixed antenna on the rear right of the helmet, in addition to the NCO antenna and a thermal probe fixed to the helmet, and these nice little plates here at the top of the helmet. So I'm going to move us this stuff back down to the NCO specialist, but actually what I'll do, yeah, we'll leave it on this for now. Or actually, no, we'll put it on the commander visor itself. Moving on to vests. This is something we're pretty excited about to show you guys. We are not the first mod to do this for Star Wars, but we have some really nice stuff coming up here for the vests themselves. So we have our Clone Trooper vest, which adds nothing. This is actually intended for this reason and this reason alone. So as I'm sure many of you have noticed by now, our uniform includes where the swap vest would be on the actual uniform itself. So here we're going to move up one, and magically we gain this really nice recon vest with a side strap, thigh holster for your sidearms. And if I go in here, and unfortunately I don't have ours loaded at the moment. We're having some slight issues with the weapons, which is why they aren't being showcased. However, they do load into the holsters themselves. Our weapon, our DC-17 sidearm does, at least. Then we have the Recon NCO vest, which just has this little pauldron sticking off the side. Thank you, Euler. Here we have the officer vest, which has the comma and the shoulder pauldron. And this has the double holsters, which unfortunately we could not get to work with, either dual wield or having both in there. Well, we could have both in there, but it would just look really awkward considering you can only draw attachments. And then we have the commander vest, which just has this kind of extra pauldron over the shoulder. And then we have a CFR vest, which actually just has this little, what we had intended the design for was to be a medical kit attached to the left thigh. And then it has our really nice thigh holster for the sidearm. Here's the airborne vest. Difference between this and the medic is it has the side pieces on the arm here, and it has the extra attachments on the strap here. And then we have the airborne NCO vest, which just adds this little part over here. We're going to have more vests getting added in the future. These are just some of the ones that we wanted to show off initially. Personally, I'm a pretty big fan of the Recon vest itself with this really nice thigh holsters. And I see we got someone down in the comments. I believe that's Clock down in the comments section, actually. To Mr. Forge Jack, this is not going to be added on to the Legion Armory release. This is going to be a separate mod file once it does actually get released. This will be a separate mod file, and Star Wars Legion Armor will then be updated to this model specifically. Thank you, Revy, for telling us that we're doing nice work. And then another thing that I believe Clock just pointed out in the comments, which I did fail to mention, is on the normal clone vest. If we look here, I can actually go ahead and grab one of the other sidearms. Oh look, even with the 212th DP23, you can actually have your sidearm mounted on your belt right here, which is pretty nice. And we'll show off a couple of the different blasters here that are kind of floating around the community right now. This is just for the standard trooper. I know that not all units themselves necessarily allow for people to have sidearms if they aren't above a certain rank, but it's just something nice that we have anyways. So going back to the uniforms real quick, I'm going to show off a few of the other test uniforms that we did manage to add in. Um, so we have ourselves a 501st uniform, which I personally think looks fantastic. I don't know about the rest of you guys. We also have a pretty cool system implemented. I did forget to mention this during the little first pass, but for those of you who are now tuning in, um, we do have a neat little system going on here involving shoulder patches. So as you can see, now on your shoulders, you can have different patches for different things. So Camino Security has a shoulder patch. They are work in progress. The medics now have a shoulder patch. Um, so now you don't, if someone in your unit or if you are requesting certain armor, it no longer has to get completely retextured in order to add the medic symbol. We also have a Rebel Alliance, and then we do have the 501st Arma 3 unit logo as a patch that you can apply onto your armor, as well as the cosplay group, the CIS emblem, and then the Coruscant Guard emblem. And it's the same with pretty much any other emblem that you can find in game as well. Um, Literally, oh, that one actually looked kind of cool. Which one was that? The stair. Just allows for some more customization if you really wanted it. So that's what we did with the patches. So now I'm gonna kind of show off what some of these different armors look like that we did manage to add in. We got some 212th armor. We're showing some love for the boys over in the 212th. For those of you 212th boys who are watching. We also got some 104th for our boys in the wolf pack. And another thing that I want to point out that as far as I know, and I could be completely wrong about this, we are one of the first Star Wars mod groups to actually add in the asymmetrical limbs and pauldrons. So as you can see, the 104th now has lore accurate pauldrons, or shoulder pads, I should say, not pauldrons, um, which actually look really nice. We also have some 101st gear as well, made by Desi. The stuff is really battle worn looking. It looks pretty gray. I think it looks nice. And then our standard Phase 2 uniform, um, which I personally like as well. And when the uniforms were made, as I'm sure some of you may have seen, our helmets are more based off of the Clone Wars 2008 animated series appearance, along with the Episode 3 appearance itself. So as you can see, this is what they kind of look like in game. We've been teasing these for a while, but now we actually have them released um, to the rest of the dev team, that is, not to the public. These will be released sometime in the future. It is unknown as to when it will actually be released. We do have some slight issues that we have to fix before we are ready for official release. Um, so it even has the stats down here, as I'm sure some of you have been looking for the stats at our armor down in the corner. vests also add some different stuff. Um, I will give credit where credit is due. We did borrow a similar idea from the opposition team for having an empty clone trooper vest that just acts as an equipment storage space and stuff like that. There are some small spelling errors here and there. This is an early release version. This is in 0.0. This is in 0.01 for closed alpha testing, um, and this is kind of funny too. It clips through, but it clips, but it looks kind of neat depending on the vest. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead throw on a random uniform here, and oh, that's not ours. I had another mod loaded, but I'm gonna throw on a uniform of ours, and yeah, just kind of see how it looks. I'll grab the other DC. All right, so and then because of this test, I currently do not actually have our own weapons mod loaded. Um, but I do have the lovely Weapons of the Republic mod loaded. If you haven't already, you should really go check those guys out. They made a pretty nice mod. And then here in a second, I'll go ahead and show you guys the backpacks as well. We are aware of some small issues regarding the backpacks, so please, just be aware that there are some small issues with some of the stuff that we're doing. Arc Armor is going to be released at a later date as well. This is more of just a kind of first pass on what we have in game right now, just to kind of show you guys where we're at in the development process. So, as you can see, there's a small issue with some stuff, some naming issues and whatnot, but this is where we're at right now. I personally really like what we have. Another cool thing that I thought I should point out about these is we have the straps on our backpacks as well. At least on our new clone backpacks. And then we have the hazard pack, which there's some issues with at the moment, as you can kind of see. But it is all going to get worked on, don't you worry. So here is our heavy backpack, which just has some more pouches on the outside. It even has a little canister here at the bottom. Then we have a medic variant with a blue canister at the bottom, and then the medic patches on the side. I know that the medic symbols are on the sides on all the previous versions that I've showed. However, it was just a small error and will be fixed. And here is our radio telephone operator backpack as well, which is, personally, this is one of my favorites. It has some stuff here on the bottom, in addition to the radio being mounted up here on the top, on this lovely 212th Attack Battalion trooper. Who, let's change the vest a little bit. Show off what this looks like with some different vests. I think it looks several new vests in coming patches, and I will show those off as well. Um, this is the official stream currently for our weapon, or not our weapons, but for our armor and any of our future streams that go on here. And I'll just kind of show off this current little setup with some of the other armors as well. Show some love for the boys in blue. And then here's what it'll look like in game. Our base mod is going to be the core mod for everything. So it's going to include droids. It's going to include um, some other Op4 stuff that we plan on adding as well. And I just walked into a block because I got distracted. So we got our lovely boys in blue over here wearing their RTO bags, and then we'll go ahead and throw on a different backpack. Why not? We'll throw on the heavy backpack here, or just the normal medic, and we'll switch up our vest too. Why not? Switch to the normal recon. And you know, we'll throw on a medic patch too. Throw on a medic patch. Why not? But yeah, all of this is still very much work in progress. There's some small issues with stuff, but for the most part, everything is working as intended. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of clipping issues with anything. The rigging was done wonderfully. There's just some small issues regarding the undersuit texture and the actual neck piece for the uniform, but that will be fixed in a future release. This was just something that we needed to get done this week, and I decided let's showcase everything that we're doing, and then we'll go ahead, go back to the arsenal, unload the patch that we have on right now. We'll load the commander vest. Some of the vests do have clipping issues when the weapon is raised, as I'm sure you can kind of see right there. It's all going to get fixed in coming releases. So yeah, so there's again some slight issues with stuff, but it'll all get fixed in the coming days. And the closest thing we can kind of get to, actually, you know what? I do enjoy this. But as you can see, for the most part, everything is working 100% as it should. I personally am a huge fan of this Marshall Commander visor. I think that it looks absolutely perfect. I'm going to show you guys a few more combinations of these lovely things. Remember guys, this is the official stream for the Star Wars Legion Studios. Show off some more of our lovely Coruscant Guard. I do love this armor personally, mostly because I was the one who textured it, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, guys, this has kind of been a showcase of all our new stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. If If you guys have any further questions, I'm sure most of you are on our Discord already, but if you aren't, you can go ahead and click on our Discord link that should be in the description and join our Discord. If you have any further questions about any of the armor seen here today, make sure that you guys, leave us a message down below in our general chat on the Discord. Just let us know if you saw something that needed to get fixed that wasn't already addressed during the stream. Or if you'd like to see something added, let us know. Anything within the Clone Wars era is currently acceptable. So, yeah, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in today, and I hope to show you all the same content in the future.